This vlog will be presented on the World Kidney Day on 14th of March, Thursday, which is celebrated throughout the world, focusing on kidney health. The purpose of the World Kidney Day awareness and educational campaign is to reduce or let us say, slow down the progression of chronic kidney diseases or CKD, or stop the progression altogether. That's why the awareness and educational campaigns are launched. There are millions of people who suffer from CKD, chronic kidney disease. They may not be aware, but some of them are aware. So if you see your doctors, physicians, your hospital, to diagnose if you have by screening your blood. When I say CKD, let me explain what is CKD. CKD is a renal disease. If not treated, will go from stage 2, 3, 4, 5 and then lead to the kidney failure, total shutdown of the kidney function. And then you will have only two options to survive. Either you go for dialysis or you go for a renal transplant, which is very difficult, very expensive, and not possible because the organs are not available, matched organs are not available. When I say CKD or chronic kidney disease, it means that either in your blood you have higher level of creatinine, a toxic chemicals in the blood, or your GFR, glomerular filtration rate, is lower than expected, normally below 60 and then coming down to 15 in order to have the kidney failure. Not in order to have, but that will cause the kidney failure. So you have increased level of creatinine, low level of GFR, and proteinuria, which are described as protein in your urine in 3 different levels. Proteinuria, microalbuminuria, then microalbuminuria, then macroalbuminuria. So albuminuria, which is micro, and then go to macro, and then the kidney failure, which increases. It all has its level. So during these levels, if you're diagnosed, you can take control and reduce or slow down the progression of the CKD, which will eventually lead to the kidney failure and require dialysis and renal transplant. So you need to go to your physicians if you have some symptoms, like you have blood pressure, like you have diabetes, if you consume lots of salt, if you consume lots of proteins, etc., etc. So if once you are diagnosed, you have CKD, then you have to be very, very careful getting the blood checked every 6 months, going to your physicians regularly, and taking the prescribed medication on time and regularly. Normally, the CKD occurs when you have uncontrolled diabetes and uncontrolled blood pressure. So if any medication prescribed for blood pressure, you have to take it, and keep a good control, keep a tighter control of your blood pressure if you have it. If you have diabetes, you have to control the diabetes by taking the medication, prescribed medication, which your hospitals, clinics, and doctors will give you on time and regular. If you do not do so, then you have a chance to get the CKD. And once the CKD is there, then you have to adopt the measures to control or reduce the progression. As you know, I should have said this in the beginning, but never too late. Kidney is a vital organ of a human body. It filters the waste from your body. It filters the drugs from your body. It regulates the blood pressure of your body. It controls the various chemicals of your body. It controls the production of the red cells. So you might have seen that people on dialysis or advanced level of CKD, people have low level of red blood cells. And then they start breathing problem because of the low level of red cells. So the kidney function, in addition to all these, removing the waste product from the blood, removing the drugs, controlling the blood pressure and fluids and so on, it helps in the production of the red cells by stimulating the stem cells of the bone marrow to produce red cells. So not requiring any extra supplements such as Epokine, erythropoietin or Epokine, that generally said, erythropoietin. What is erythropoietin? Is a hormone. Is a glycoprotein, is a hormone. So you'll require that if your CKD has advanced or you are on dialysis on a regular basis. Therefore, what I try to do in a simple word, using less technical words, and if I use the technical words, I explain to you as I explain the CKD and explain the erythropoietin. I give you, which you hear from people, from friends, from your doctors, but again, on this day, which is the day to remind you, the day to create awareness, the day to educate people on different levels of people we have. So to educate the people, to remind the people on this day, 14th of March this year, 2024, World Kidney Day, that you take control of your blood pressure and diabetes if you have, by certain modification of your life, certain modification of your diet, etc., etc. There are 4, 5, 6 important points to remember. Only these 5, 6 points to remember that will bring a major change in the control or slowdown of the progression of the disease. Number 1, if you have diabetes and blood pressure or blood pressure, take medication as prescribed to you by your doctor, by your physician on time and regularly. Don't change, don't amend until advised by your doctors. Take it, observe, measure your level and so on, both for blood pressure and sugar. These two major diseases are the main cause of the damage of your kidney worldwide. So, these are number 1, that blood pressure and sugar or diabetes must be controlled in order to slow down the progression of CKD. Number 2, take less salt in your food. minimal that you can adjust to. Minimal. Salt induces the blood pressure, and that in turn goes to harm the kidney. So less salt, less protein, red meats, beef, mutton, lamb. Consume less protein. Egg white is a good protein, but egg yolk is not the good protein. So avoid that also if possible, the red meat, and any supplement that contains creatinine. So less protein, less salt, more fluid, water, and related such as soft drinks, but avoid anything that contains the high level of salt. I won't recommend personally any diet, but juices, there are certain, apple juice is very good. Apple juice, pomegranate juice, very good. But if you have a higher level of CKD, stage 3 and 4, stage 4 above 3, then consume less orange juice as well because it contains potassium. Now, when I use the word potassium, remember, if you have developed the CKD, you need to measure regularly the potassium level in your blood and the phosphorus. Therefore, it brings a very important aspect which next 3 minutes or so we discuss about the diet. So we have discussed the less protein, less salt, and I think that diet is very important. The diet you take is more antioxidant, such as cucumber, red pepper, capsicum, carrots, cabbage, cauliflowers, which are less painful to your kidney, less damaging to your kidney. Apple is a very good one. But make sure anything you take, you consult your dietitian, you consult a doctor of diets, we call dietitian or doctors in the hospital. Take their advantage and they will advise you according to your need. But in general, what you need to do, avoid anything that contains the phosphorus and potassium. Potassium and phosphorus. For example, in Ramadan now, people worldwide, the Muslim community uses the dates and kahwa, which contains high quantity of potassium. Dates. So consume the dates, limited number of dates. Orange juice, milk product, dairy product. All these things that you know anything contains potassium, and don't take potassium chloride instead of sodium chloride, saying that it is not the salt, this is a substitute. That could be a dangerous too, because you need to avoid the potassium. So the potassium and the phosphorus containing food must be avoided, fruits and food. So you have to consult your dietitian, the doctor, for renal diet. So if you go on a renal diet, avoid things that contains potassium, otherwise your kidney will continue to suffer and lead to total shutdown and damage, which is disastrous for you and your family. So this is the main thing for today. Let me see in my note if I have anything to say extra. No, nothing. These are simple things that I have explained, and more than that will be unnecessary. As I said, the proteinuria, every 3 to 6 months, you take your urine for test, urine test, called ACR, albumin creatinine ratio. Albumin creatinine ratio give you a level that how much albumin is passing through your urine. It is micro quantity, it is macro quantities, it is more than macro. So that dictates the level of the damage of the kidney. So higher level of creatinine, low level of GFR. Normally GFR 60 plus is considered safe, but you can have up to 50. You can have up to 50 unless, depending upon your proteinuria. So you need to have the urine test done for ACR, and also with creatinine. These all together will give an idea of the progression or slow down of the progression. Please take care of your kidney health. The purpose of the World Kidney Day, which is not my field as a nephrologist, I'm not a nephrologist as I said, but is one, I have keen interest in 5 major prevalent diseases, and kidney disease and diabetes and blood pressure and so on. These are my interest. As in the Health Foundation, we promote these and create awareness and celebrate days which support these educational program to help the people all over the world. Thank you for listening. Take care. Goodbye.